Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday, Kempo adjunct, as usual. So we're still on 7th kyu, which is our blue belt with a stripe, 7th level before getting to black belt. Today's technique is Kempo Yakusoku number 2, or Kempo technique number 2. In the Kempo organizations, they call it combination 2, or self-defense maneuver number 2, or DM, defense maneuver number 2, whatever terminology. It's basically a promised technique, a set technique that we practice. The concept here is pretty much one-hand fighting. The other hand is free as an aid to assist, and at the end you're going to see this move in our Seisan kata applied on a downed opponent. So the idea is my attacker is coming here at me or circular with this punch. Coming from this side, I'm going to move to the inside, the eye of the hurricane. I do that first by bringing my feet together. This hand I can use again to capture or not, but for simplicity, essentially it's just my hand comes into my hip and I step sideways into my number 3 or sotouke block, striking his attack. Now, I'm on the inside where if he's punching with this hand, he has the live hand on the other side. So if I've come here, that's his live hand. However, this applies a very quick back to knuckle or urazgi to the face. We could alternately make it the riken, the downward back fist from our Seisan kata as well. Okay? So again, we shuffle to the inside with or without this hand, block back fist or block back punch, which is the way I prefer to do it because it drives him a little bit more. As he's being, hopefully, driven back with the punch to the nose of the chin, I continue to slide toward and past him so that in my side horse stance, I'm literally directly beside him where I follow up with an elbow as he hopefully staggers. I capture the leg behind his calf down toward his Achilles, lifting and pulling in a circle. As he falls, hopefully, I separate this leg, pull it to the side. I keep him from kicking me with his opposite leg. And there's our Seisan maneuver. From here, shito strike, knife hand to the groin, pivot back out from between his legs lest he grab me. That's basically the whole technique. Single-handed, block, punch, shuffle elbow, sweep, control, strike, pivot back. Very simple. Harder than simple, but okay. Max, onegaishimasu. James is here watching, but we're going to give him a break on this one from last week. Okay? So as, excuse me, the punch comes, hey, I shuffle, block. And again, this hand could control. I could also come across his face. Simple version, block. Back to knuckle, driving. Do not hit your opponent for real. Could be a back fist. Shuffle, elbow. This time I definitely want to drive him back this way. Capture the foot, pull up and out. Now, as I pull this foot to the side, this one is a risk, so I control it. There's my Seisan. Strike to the groin, pivot, because if I stay here after hitting his groin and he hooks me with his legs or some other, it's a problem. So I immediately pivot back and out. Up, to the side. A little quicker. Here gets, I don't know if you'll see anything from the back side. We don't need to do this side because you'll just see the back of me and that's weird. Okay? Hey, block, strike, quickly, shuffle, pull, separate, strike. Pivot back on guard. Arigatou gozaimasu. Kempo technique number 2. Again, there are little add-ins you can do. Some of the other Kempo instructors have altered this technique based on its supposed weaknesses, but as I said during my narration initially, I'm protecting all of those weaknesses if I'm doing it correctly. I'm leaving this free hand in case I wanted to grab or do some other thing. I could push as I, come back. Let's show a couple of the variations, okay? So that was the base technique. If he's throwing like a street roundhouse, I could block. I hit him twice, you didn't see that, but I did. One, and then the biceps here. That's a great place to hit a guy. What was that sound? That's what I thought, okay. Block, strike, straight up under the chin. If I drive that, he's already moving a little. I catch up to him. Notice that I'm here. If I go from here and hit him, he's going to shuffle away. I'll never reach his leg. Oh no. So I want to make sure that I get beside him so that as he goes, I can catch it. If I have to do that, I can do that. Separate. Very important to control this. I can make the separation hurt. And then strike. Same thing. Okay? So there are some variations in street adaptability. If he tries to hit me twice, I'm taking away that chance by making this quickly. This is the concept of economy of motion that we talked about long ago, where rather than hit here and then turn my body, because if I hit here and then turn to punch him while he's boy, that would be not good for me. I want things good for me, bad for him. So I hit immediately. We can make this really lethal, right? From here, I can hit the chin, start him back. Now he's really staggering. I hardly have to do anything. Might have to pull him. Okay? I can step in here to control him. In my kibarachi. Change my dropping shuto to a driving or even just a straight punch. And then pivot up. So there are, within all Kempo techniques, as within our Seidokan techniques, there is adaptability to situational live dynamic. We start with the core, then we start thinking, what if? And how do I solve potential arising problems without completely departing from the technique? Seidokan 1, I have the same issue, a live hand. How do I take care of that live hand coming at me situationally? Well, as he retracts his first punch, I blocked it. He's probably going to pull it back. As he's blocked it, I can drive in toward that side, which negates his oncoming punch. So we always have adaptable variables, but we learn the core technique first, and we start exploring that lovely question that every student loves, what if? And you need to have answers in your head for this. You need to have answers in your body of practice so that should it arise, it's an automatic response rather than a cognitive, slow, well, what do I do now? You don't want to be in that situation. Okay? Kempo Yakusoku number 2. Thanks as always for joining. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, share with a friend, leave a comment, tell a joke, kiss your wife, whatever you got to do. But until next week, as always, keep practicing.